hello again, and welcome to Rolynn's Reviews. Hello, everyone's coming in. Primetime Phil, Tina, Jermaine, Mary Green, everyone's coming in. Joyce Frazier, welcome again. We're back because we are continuing this wonderful series that I'm enjoying. However, it's making me feel really old. OHS Spotlight. Today we have distinguished guests, all right, Stephanie Hasapis. Now, if we have any former OHS grads in here, Stephanie graduated in 2011. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with OHS and our student body and former students, Stephanie, just like, well, with our person last week, I had Omar. I taught Omar at OMS only. I didn't teach him at OHS. Well, Stephanie has the distinction, or maybe not, of being taught by me at the middle school OMS, all right? I think 7th grade, I think something like that. And at the high school, 9th grade year as well as senior year. So Stephanie Hasapis is a 2011 OHS graduate. Hello to everyone in the comment section. And a 2015 graduate of NC State. How you doing, Lady Libra? And basically with this series, if you've been keeping up, I'm talking to former students of OHS and finding out where they are in their careers. And folks, we don't know. This may, turn the light bulb on for some students who are currently at OHS. Some students don't know what they want to do. Sometimes people just need a little extra motivation. Excuse me. So Vicky Hasapis is here. She's very proud of you, Steph. And how you doing, Rhonda? Rhonda's lovely Sparks. And so again, folks, it takes some people longer than others, but everyone is in a different place emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. So we all have to, get ourselves together. Sometimes it takes some people longer than others. That's okay, as long as you get where you need to be. So, excuse me, Stephanie's going to talk about her college career and where she went to college. And then, of course, she's going to talk about her professional career. And you guys know how we do it. If you have questions, type it in the comment section, okay? And I will be reading those out. So without further ado, Stephanie, how are you?
I'm great. I'm doing well.
All right. Now, Stephanie, I have something to show you. Now, when you were at OHS, you took Animal Science 1 and Animal Science 2 with me, correct?
Yep.
Well, does this look familiar? See if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, I can see it.
Does that look familiar?
Yes. Yep.
I still have some of your work. Chinchillas, rats, ferrets, hamsters. Are you feeling old?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, go ahead. Thanks, everyone, in the comment section. Please hit that like button for me, folks. Share this on your various forms of social media. Stephanie's going to go ahead. Stephanie, tell me about your college experience. I have a lot of students in my classes. They think it's going to be a cakewalk like high school. Tell us about some of your college experiences and what were some challenges you had to face transitioning from high school to college?
Yeah, so there was a lot of challenges. It definitely wasn't a cakewalk. I went to college immediately after graduating high school, so fall of 2011. And no matter how many harder classes I took in high school, honestly, it doesn't prepare you as well as I thought it would for college. Yep. The classes are a completely different level. So that first year, was pretty difficult. It was kind of a shock. Like in high school, I didn't have to study very much, and
Right.
college, it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother ball game. Days of studying, staying up 3-4 a.m. to study. I mean, and sometimes it was just to make a B. Like I wouldn't even make an A on the test, and I had spent hours studying. Another big difference that was a struggle was in high school. The teachers really care about you because the classes are smaller.
Right.
When you're in a class of 150, 200 people, the professors, they really don't. I mean, I'm not going to say they don't care, but they kind of don't care if you pass or fail,
Thank you so much for saying that. I tell my students that all the time. Of course, they look at me like she doesn't know what she's talking about. You are spoon-fed at the high school level. Let's just call it what it is. And as I tell my students, hi, Rhonda Dunlap, when you leave and go to the collegiate level, they have your money regardless. So if you do the work, fine. If you want to stay home in your room or apartment and sleep all day, no one cares. They have your money. So was that you said that transition was really difficult for you?
I wouldn't say very difficult, but it was definitely a shock. On top of, you go off to college and you really don't have any friends. That's something that's really hard too, is to just be immersed in this, 10, 20,000 people and you don't know anyone. And now you basically have to start all over with your social life and finding a that fits. So it's a little difficult.
Right. So again, that sounds wonderful to me. My students think and of course, they're just looking at me, when I'm talking, I can tell it's in one ear and out the other. And I often tell students, and of course, again, those of you who are just coming in, how you doing, Lola? Everyone who's in here, please hit that like button and please share this video out. We want to bring as many people in as we can. When you're in high school, and because I've had some students straight, they took nothing but honors and AP classes, and they made A's and everything. And I told them, that is not reality. When you go to college, you will not be receiving an A in every course. And I said, I guess they thought I was just being a Debbie Downer. No, that's not reality. And I can't tell you how many former students I've spoken with that, they went to college, they were shocked like you, much like you, and they couldn't cut it. I had a girl, all she took was AP and honors courses, and I've had more than one to drop out, unfortunately, but they couldn't deal with the strain, the stress, and not making A's in everything. I told them a B is okay. I have a student now that I'm still counseling. She's a freshman in college. It's okay. Life will not end. Okay. So so tell us, so when you left NC State, where did you go?
Right. So I think we have to back up a little bit in this story.
Okay,
so,
go ahead. Tell us about it.
I always wanted to be a veterinarian since I was a kid, and you knew that. So senior year of high school, you forced me to go job shadow at a veterinary clinic in Lillington. And I didn't want to do it because that sounded awkward and terrible. But I did it anyways.
Right.
This was fall of 2010, and it was great. So I asked the clinic director if I could continue to come in once a week and shadow or volunteer, and they were said sure. So I did that all of senior year, and then I went off to college, to which they called me about a month after I started college and asked if I'd be interested in actually a part-time job, like on the weekends. So of course that's great, and I took the job. So I worked there part-time during the summers, sometimes full-time, but all throughout college. So whenever it was time to graduate, I wanted to start, networking and trying to find a job. I knew I wanted to go into research instead of being a technician because I was really stuck on this. You need a college degree to go into research. But to be a veterinary technician, you don't need a college degree, or you only need an associate's degree. So I had this thing that I said to myself that I wasn't going to accept any position where my degree was wasted. But this all veterinary practices, if there's a veterinarian that's not there that day, they bring in a relief veterinarian, same as a substitute teacher. And so I met one there only a few months before I was set to graduate who worked in research at Duke University. And I said, oh my God, like, I want to work in research. So he gave me his business card. So about a month before I graduated, I actually emailed him.
Okay.
Trying to see if he knew of any job openings. And before I was graduated, I had a job. So, yeah, so I think that was like very fundamental to my success. And from then on.
Okay, and I'm glad. So you saying the job study that you did not want to do.
I did not want to do it that time. No.
I literally, guys, twisted her arm. I did. She did not want to go, and I forced her to go. I told her this is not a democracy; it's a dictatorship. Look where she is now. So, and now, Steph. Now, those of you just coming in, I taught Stephanie 7th grade at OMS, and then I taught her twice at OHS, okay? 9th grade and senior year. So we go back. We have a long history together. And I never knew. The only thing Steph ever told me, thank you, Rhonda. The only thing Steph ever told me from the time I met her in 7th grade, and she was a student in my exploring biotechnology class, I want to be a veterinarian. And Stephanie always got extra points. All the students who drew cats on their pictures, they knew they got extra credit. And Steph was an avid cat lover. So we just instantly bonded. And, you know, I'm glad that, you know, I told her to tell the truth, good and bad. And she's doing that. That can help someone else. But when I found out she went into research, I was like, wow, because that was never on the table. The only thing she told me from the time I met her, I want to be a veterinarian. Okay, but I was still happy, and she's going to continue to tell you her story once she got to Duke University. Take the floor, Steph.
Yeah, so in a perfect world, if I had gone by my plan, I would have gone into vet school right after graduating college.
Right.
But college humbled me really well. And organic chemistry and physics too almost killed me.
College chemistry will have you. I know personally. I remember I used to tell you guys when I was in college, I had 4-hour chemistry labs. College chemistry will have you, you know, depressed and just at the end of your rope. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, it's embarrassing to admit it, but I actually failed organic chemistry twice, and I failed physics.
Wow.
So the veterinary prerequisites are not necessary to graduate. Mm-hmm. So I just said, okay, whatever. I'll come back to this later. Let me graduate. So that's what I did. So I graduated. I still had a decent GPA despite like those classes. I graduated and I got a job, which I want to say no job has ever asked me my GPA. So there's that. But so I got that job in research. I was a research technician too in the Duke University breeding and rederivation core, where we were in charge of breeding, genotyping, and performing minor experiments with the mouse colonies for quite a lot of the researchers at Duke. And I did that for 2 years. And then I got a job in the Department of Radiation Oncology at Duke, again as a research technician too. And after a year and a half, I got the promotion to research analyst. And during that time, I'd say fall of 2018, I started taking the classes that I needed to go to vet school. So I took 1 class a semester. I only needed 5. One class a semester for 2.5 years until I finally started applying for vet school.
Oh, wow. So for my current students or any students at OHS that may see this video, what classes would you suggest they take while they're still in high school that, you know, would sort of help them transition to college, to maybe better prepare them for college?
Yeah, probably. Is Mr. Lowen still there?
No, Lowenbrow still there.
He had a differential equations class, I think, DivvyQ. That class was one of the big ones that prepared me for college. And it wasn't, I don't know how I even wound up in that class because it wasn't a requirement as a student, but that class probably prepared me the best for statistics, which if you go into any sort of science background, like they will force you to take statistics. And that class, I mean, made the difference.
Was that his advanced functions class?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was nothing I had ever learned before, and it was hard. And without that class, that would have made a big. It definitely would have impacted me. And I wish I'd taken physics in high school. That was a big regret, is not having any physics background whatsoever, because you're either good at physics or you're not, and I am not.
Well, I actually had a student, because we recently finished registration. I had a student tell me that they signed up for physics. I said, "Oh, physics is back? I didn't realize that." So I think it had gone away, but a student told me that, I guess it's back. A student told me they signed up for it, so I'm assuming it's back on campus. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, I wish I'd taken physics, and then that differential equations class, and then Mrs. Creech's class.
She's still there.
Yeah, because she's kind of tough, and the level of tough in high school is still not the same as college. But the tougher teachers, they prepare you really well.
I'm glad you said that, because students love when they're sitting in those desks on campus. They love the teachers, that really does, you just can sit there and pretty much do what you want. There's not a lot of teaching going on. And I told them, you will pay for that when you go to college. You're not going to be too happy. Oh, Sophie's here. Hi, Sophie. Oh my God. And I have a question for you.
It looks like there's a couple questions, actually.
Okay. I'm getting so excited here. We're strolling down memory lane here, folks, since I've known her so long. Deanna Jones says, what kind of advice could you give the 2023 students who are set to go to North Carolina State in the fall? Okay, good question.
Buckle up. No, really. Take things seriously.
Yeah.
Someone told me, one of my professors told me, one time she didn't have an attendance policy, and she said, you can decide to come or you can't. It's up to you. You're adults. But she had broken down, the tuition and cost of attendance. And she said, you pay like $150 for every single class. Yep. So if you miss a class, you're just wasting $150. That's on you. And I'm money driven. So that was like, oh my God. But take things seriously. Study. Don't expect it to be easy. It's not easy. I mean, some classes might be easy-ish. But especially the science classes, even the non-science classes, just the level of work is not what you're used to.
Mm-hmm. And we've already talked about the job shadow experience. Now, since the courses I teach, they're CTE. For my crowd, the crowd older than me, CTE, it means the same thing as vocational. It's career technical education. Stephanie, talk to us about how CTE courses prepared you and took you to where you are now.
Well, I don't even know where I'd be now if you hadn't pushed me to job shadow. That's literally followed me, 13 years later. I still work part-time at that clinic. I'm sure, I know 100% that their recommendations or letters of recommendation and then their job references have, gotten me every single job I've had and my acceptance to vet school. And once I left my job at Duke in January, and I did get another job offer in February, but I had gotten my vet school acceptance letter. So I decided, I'll just work at the vet, for a few months before I start college, take it easy. So, and here I am 13 years later, still at that job that you pushed me to job shadow at,
See, I've been an integral part of your life, young lady. And you thought you were rid of me, and here we are again.
Yeah.
So, and Lions Pride said missing a lot of classes is like giving them money. They don't, again, what we just said, it doesn't matter if you go or not. They have your money and tuition is very high at Lions Pride. Exactly. How you doing? Erica's here. Erica Richardson. She said she is so proud of you, Steph. Okay. Brandon's sister, of course. Caitlin Fitzgerald, good teachers are worth their weight in gold. They are, Caitlin. And we do have a lot of good teachers, those who really care. And so those are the ones we need to, uplift. Okay. So Steph, you talked about your job at Duke University, and your job responsibilities, right? I also want you to talk, because I often tell my students, particularly those that make a lot of excuses, work ethic is everything. So you remember, and me and your other teachers would tell you, if you're working, whatever, they're not paying you to be on your cell phone. So what have you seen since you've been working professionally, so far as people work, on their cell phones? Did you see it as a problem? What were the cell phone policies at the places that you worked?
Well, it's 2023, so people are more relaxed about those sort of things. But it's like you said, work ethic is everything, and your reputation for work ethic is everything. I'm not joking. Every single job I have gotten after college has been from word of mouth, from someone saying, "Oh, someone's looking for a lab manager," or someone needs help with their studies. I mean, every single job has been based off my reputation. So having a strong work ethic and keeping your reputation good, I mean, it goes a long way. I've really never had to job hunt because my reputation's so good that people are always eager to spread my name and help me find another job.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because I'm often, some of my students make excuses as to why they can't become a success. And I tell them, I don't care your gender, your race. If you have an excellent work ethic, someone will give you a chance. I tell them, I don't want to hear any excuses. And that's just that. And I just shut them down. I do. I admit it.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. So what do you think was the best career decision you've ever made to this point?
Oh, that's hard.
I got you. I finally stumped you.
Probably deciding to go into research.
Okay.
Before trying to apply for vet school, and instead of going to do any technician work at a vet clinic, there's a lot of stigmas around research, especially research that involves animals. But it's a whole nother side of the coin that no one understands unless they're in there. So it brings a deep appreciation for medicine, for the work that goes into medicine. And I mean, it's literally nothing that you can understand or begin to think about unless you're in that field. But it's a great field, and it pays well. So, I mean, it pays pretty well, honestly. Lots of good vacation time, that sort of thing.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Do you remember in class, we actually had an entire objective on animal rights and animal welfare, which included you guys had to do research on animal research and ethics involving animal research. So, and then you wound up working. Wow.
Yeah.
Animal research. Gotta love it. Oh my God. How you doing, prime time? Okay, we still have people coming in. We're full today. Oh my goodness. Love everyone in the chat. Thank you for coming out and supporting this channel. Now, how did you set yourself apart from, say, other lab managers or research analysts at Duke University?
I'm serious about the work that I do. I read a quote many years ago. It sounds cheesy, but it said, like, any job, big or small, do it right or not at all. And I take that very seriously. If I'm going to do something, I aim for perfection. And that's part of my reputation. I'm a perfectionist. I'm detail oriented, very observant. So my organizational skills are, I mean, they're top notch. And in research, there's so many intelligent people, but I mean, a lot of people really lack organization. So that's a really nice trait to have in a field like that.
Good. That was an excellent response. Erica, so Erica said, Steph, excuse me, do you plan to go back into research after vet school? That's an excellent question.
So that was the original plan. I applied under lab animal, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
We did some interviews with the vet school where they had people from each current, field, mixed animal, small animal, lab animal, and I go a lot off like the vibes I get, and
Right.
I didn't feel at home in the lab animal group, so maybe not.
Okay.
I don't know. I have 2 years to decide, so we'll see.
Couple of years. Okay, great. And then Rhonda said, I'm so proud of you, Stephanie. I'm so proud of Stephanie's path she made in focusing. There's so much distraction these days. Yeah, you made up your mind. You said, I'm going to do it. And it's never too late. If you have breath in your body, there's still time to do it. So, kudos to you for continuing. Hey, I want to become a veterinarian.
Yeah, I didn't get accepted till this year, and I'll turn 30 a month after I start school. So it's
never too late.
Yeah.
There's breath in your body. There is time. I'm glad you said that.
Well, now, I read a quote one time that said, you're going to turn 30 anyways. You might as well do it trying to be a doctor or whatever. So, well, okay.
I love that quote. I love it. So if someone asked, who was your greatest inspiration, or who's the greatest role model that you really look up to, what would be your response?
Probably the owner and the director of that clinic that I work at in Lillington,
wow.
Dr. Janet Badker. Yeah, she's probably my biggest role model. I mean, was a single mother, and she purchased a practice, and she's 68 and she still works full time. I mean, she's, strong, independent woman. She doesn't need anybody,
Oh my goodness. Oh, so what if I had, say I get some other students and they're interested in going into animal research, working, as a lab manager. What qualities do you think those students should possess? I'm talking leadership qualities, character qualities. What do you think they really need to be successful in that field?
Animal science fields, or definitely drive, a dedication to succeed, and compassion and empathy would be the ones that I'd say.
Wow. Okay. So have you experienced any have you had any negative experiences while working at Duke University or wherever?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get the negative no matter where you go. Duke University, and I'd say research academia, especially in North Carolina, in the Triangle specifically, kind of shelters you from a lot of the problems in the world because they value diversity and acceptance. I mean, the amount of diversity at Duke is insane,
Right.
But there's still personality clashes, things like that can make some things difficult, and navigating life a little harder.
Okay. I mean, and no, it doesn't matter where you work. No place is perfect. And sometimes, as I tell my students, sometimes it's not that the person's a bad person. Sometimes there's just a clash of personalities. I mean, it happens. So, it doesn't mean someone's a really rotten individual. It just doesn't work sometimes. That's life. Right. And let me see, what did Rhonda say? Okay, she said she's always posting about wildlife, animals, lions, elephants, pets. Okay, Stephanie, it sounds like you and Rhonda could be friends. Rhonda grew up on a farm and a ranch. She said there's a special gift and passion for the care of animals. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Caitlin Fitzgerald had a question. Do you know if you want to specialize in larger or smaller animals? Now that's good.
I love all animals. So in a dream world, I would actually like to work with marine mammals. But that involves moving near an ocean, you know. So, but I don't know that it matters. I mean, horses are my passion, but the equine industry is pretty hard. So I'm not sure. Small animals are what, you know. That's the big thing right now. Everyone has a dog or a cat, you know, exotic. Getting bigger. So I do know that I don't want to work with food animals. That's the one thing I don't want to do.
Okay. I was gonna say when I read that question, I remember, how you doing, Annie? In my classes, you were always talking about how you loved the horses. You love the horses. And so, you know, we talked about you can just work with small animals. You remember, you probably don't remember, it's been a long time. I told you there's a cat clinic in Greensboro. That's all she does. Yep. So, you know, or you can work with livestock animals. So, you know, it's your choice. You know, just it depends on, I guess, you know, what you like individually. So, Stephanie, another question. In your line of work, do you plan to be involved in animal conservation? And if so, is there an animal you would fight to protect? Oh, that's a good question too, Rhonda. That's you stumped her.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it depends what field I go into. If I go into exotics or wildlife medicine, then everything's about conservation essentially. But if I could help one animal particularly that I care, it's whales, you know, ocean, okay. You know, like humans don't take care of the planet and everything's suffering. And we have these giant sentient beings in the water that are, you know, being killed by ships and overfishing, and it's awful. Like,
Steph, I'm with you. I have to, you know, I look at PBS a lot, and when they have all that stuff, it's so depressing. I can't take it. Know, it's just too much. But Steph, now for those of you who don't know, as much Stephanie loves cats. What about the big cats? Are you?
Well, I mean, everything deserves conservation. I mean, the animals don't deserve to die out or suffer due to humans. I mean, nothing deserves that. I mean, everything should be protected. You know, humans need to find a way to stop developing land and, you know, rebuild. You know, we just have to find something better. You know, but I don't think any animal or insect or anything deserves to suffer because of humans. Everything should be protected.
And I agree. It's just unfortunate. Like I said, we need to change some of the things that we're doing. And so, do you think maybe one day, since you know you feel so adamant about it, maybe you'll run for political office to try to change?
No.
No. He wants no part of that. Can't say I blame you, because it is a mess. All right, so I'll let you go. I have one more question for you, unless I see some more questions in the chat section, because I told you I wouldn't keep you too long. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That is a fantastic question.
I got you again.
And I don't know. For vet school, they don't make you decide your focus until after 2 years. So I have 2 years to kind of figure out which field I want to go into, whether it's lab animal or companion animal, you know, zoo animal. So I don't know. That decision will probably be the big impact. But with veterinary medicine, you can change pretty easily. You know, maybe I want to specialize. I don't know. But if you don't like a field, you know, you do get enough of a basis in the background that you can switch, focus it. You know.
So now, is the ultimate goal to eventually own your own practice? I guess that's what I'm trying to get to.
If I went into companion animal medicine, so like cats and dogs, yeah, I would definitely like to own my own practice. If I went into lab animal, you know, no, because you work in research academia, or if you specialize, you'd probably also be working at kind of these big vet schools and their specialty clinics or corporate owned clinics. But if it's, dogs and cats, then yeah, I'd love to own my own clinic.
That sounds wonderful to me. And Vicki, your aunt, said, great interview. Good luck in vet school. You know that we are all supporting you. Obviously, your family has supported you all your life. And I've been supporting you since 7th grade. So that's going to continue. Rhonda said, oh, yes, whales. There's a sorghum seaweed overtaking the Gulf Sea and below. They are affecting the marine life terribly. Your contribution is desperately needed. Yeah, we need you, Steph. Hurry up and graduate.
Well, all research helps on that. So
yes,
I think trying to send your students into research is a great career.
Yes. I have some who are interested in research. Some animals, some food science, because I also teach honors food science now. So
all connects. I mean, everything connects. So.
Right. So some people want to work with animals, some don't. But hey, I just want more people in research.
Yeah.
IB said, great interview. It rates a 5-star. All right, Steph. Rhonda said, love the show. Lady Libra, thank you, Stephanie, for all the good information for anyone going into college for the first time. Okay. So thank everyone for coming out. Yes, if you haven't already, folks, please go ahead and hit that little thumb, otherwise known as the like button. Thank you for spending your very, very valuable time here at the Rolyn's Reviews YouTube channel. And definitely come back again next week. We'll be back with another former student. Thank you, Deanna Jones said, what a great example of success. So your success will continue, and everyone's applauding you in the comment section. Caitlin Fitzgerald, oh yes, thank you for being here. Okay. Your former teacher, Vicki Council, said, great job, Steph. So everyone here, as you can see, is very supportive. All right. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their Sunday. Don't forget to come back next Sunday, 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your dad is here. How you doing, Angelo? All right, he's here. So JoJo, Rhonda, everyone's applauding you. Thank you. You're doing a good job. We all wish you much continued success. And you know where I am if you need me. So I hope to see you guys here next Sunday at the Rolyn's Reviews YouTube channel. Take care, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Steph.